So I've got back from the garden now and I've harvested all these tomatoes. I haven't weighed them yet, but you can see they're quite hefty bowls. But this is probably the bulk of the sort of ones for preserving. The varieties, so we've got the beef steaks. I've got some Black Russian. I've forgotten what the other one is. I'll have a check and then put it up here somewhere. So there's loads of these. I've got lots and lots of these yellow ones. These are called yellow pear. I'm not bottling them. I'm going to preserve them in a different way. I've got lots of the, so here's a Black Russian, as you can see. I've got lots of the plum ones. I've got mixtures of San Marzano, Roma and Heinz Big Boy. I think they're at the bottom, I'll show you. I've got some cherries. They're a mixture of Gardener's Delight, Sweet Million. There's another one, I'll pop that up here too. Again, I'm not bottling the cherry tomatoes, I'm just bottling all the big ones. So first things first, I need to wash these. So this is the amount I've got. I'm now going to chop them up, check for any nasty bits, and then I'm going to make them into a sauce. So I just wanted to show you, here's one, can you see that there? That has been eaten by woodlice. I've not really experienced that with tomatoes before. I can only think it's because I've got so much wood chip that they're starting to eat them. The slugs haven't really got to them yet, but certainly the woodlice are sort of making a good meal of them. So I won't use that one. And what I'm going to do, I'm not peeling these, I'm just chopping them, and I'm just chopping out, oops, the core, this bit, and possibly just the blossom end as well. And then checking them over. And then checking them over for any bits that might look like they might not be so good. Discarding the nasty bits and putting the rest in a pot, and I'm going to cook them down into a sauce. I've got my stock pot here. So you can see these ones, they're quite mealy, quite dry looking. So they'll be perfect for a sauce. So there's not too, if you look, there's not too much juice in there, not too many seeds. And into the pot they go. So that was one of the beef steaks. Let me find, so I'll just show you, I'm not doing all the Black Russians because I really like those raw, but the Black Russians do have a bit more, if you look at the Black Russians inside, they are a bit more juicy, but I'll put a couple of those in, but not too many. Because to be honest, it's a bit of a waste putting them in there because they are so delicious. And then here are the plums. Again, if you look, hardly any seeds or anything. And in they go. So as you can see, there's my tomatoes. I'm now going to cook them. I'm just going to cook them down into a sauce. I'm going to reduce it somewhat. I will stir it a little bit. And yeah, this may take a little bit of time. Yeah, this might take a little bit of time, but we'll come back in a little bit when it's cooked down a little. So whilst whilst that's cooking, I'm just going to take some of the cherry tomatoes and I'm just going to pop them in a freezer bag in the freezer as another way just to preserve some. And I'll probably pop these into spaghetti sauce or something in the winter time, just as they are straight from the freezer. I don't tend to freeze them in huge batches at a time. I tend to do them fairly small. And I do reuse these bags. I wash them out and reuse them. So yeah, that's a really good tip. Don't throw away these bags. So you can see sort of the consistency now. I am now going to get my stick blender and blend it. So I'm now going to blend this with my stick blender. I've had this stick blender for 25 years, I think it is, and it's still going strong. Right, here goes. Might help if I turn it on. Oops. To be honest, I'm not going to blend it hugely because I quite like it a little bit chunky. I'm just doing it slightly. And as you can see, the consistency is pretty good actually. And I don't know if you can see, you can just see here, this is where the sauce came to, and it's reduced by about 2 inches, probably by about a quarter. I'm just going to boil this up another 5 minutes and then we're going to get it into the jars. Talking of the jars, I've got the jars in here sterilising. I'm going to lift the lid, hopefully you'll be able to see. So that's my water prepared. I've got a bit of vinegar in there because we're in a really hard water area and they get really cloudy. And when I say hard water, I mean even one boil of the kettle and it is so hard. You get limescale straight away. So they're already prepared. I'm just going to get my surfaces prepared now just to get it into the jars. So I've got everything ready now. I've got my cloth with my vinegar water in for wiping the jars. I've got my lids. I've got my lemon juice. I've got some towels and a mat here to stop me damaging the side. I've got my funnel, my measuring and debubbler, my ladle, and my jar lifter, all ready to go. Now to get the jars. So I like to do my jars one at a time. So now to add the lemon juice, it's recommended that you add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice for pints and 2 tablespoons for quarts. So I'm doing pints, so I'm adding 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And this is to raise the acidity level as we don't know what acidity the tomatoes have. And this is to ensure safety when you're canning and so that the food won't spoil. So 1 tablespoon added to pint size jars. Then I can put this straight onto the next jar. Then I need to get my clean cloth, if you can see. Just wipe around my rims, make sure there's nothing, it's hot, on the rim. And where's my debubbler? I like to check. So on my debubbler, there's a measuring gauge on the end here. Check the amount, and that's about 1 inch of headspace. I will just take this in. I don't think it needs to too much of a debubbling going on there. Just going to wipe the rim again, just in case. Grab a lid. My rings. Just pop that on finger tight and pop that one in. So I'm just getting the last of the jars in there now. This made 7 jars, and I'm going to water bath can them for 40 minutes to be on the safe side. And I'm making sure there that there's a good covering of water over the top there. So I'll see you in 40 minutes time, just enough time to have some courgette and blackberry crumble. Yes, I said courgette, it works. So I've left these for about 5 minutes at the end just to let the simmering calm down, and I'm popping them all on a wooden block, and I won't touch these now until the morning. I'll let the seals seal themselves and let them get completely cold before I touch them. So yeah, there you have it, 7 cans of tomatoes. I'm hoping to do some more, but yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, bye.